Okay, good evening everybody. We're doing handheld cam here, so seasickness abounds. We had an issue that I wanted to resolve. This is an isolation riser, and effectively you put this under a speaker, like a subwoofer, and it prevents the vibration from getting into the floor and causing chaos. In a small room, small stage, a subwoofer can very well put energy into the stage, and then that can travel up a microphone and you end up with a feedback loop, particularly on something like a kick drum or maybe a mic'd bass guitar amp, something that, a microphone that's sensitive to bass. So this is a 19 by 30 platform and it costs $100. It's effectively a piece of foam with a thin board on top of it. So, I couldn't bring myself to want to spend $100 times 2, because there's 2 subwoofers in this venue. $200 for a board with a piece of foam under it. Oh, and a handle. Get a carrying handle. So, I've done things involving high fidelity principles before. When we think of high fidelity principles, here's some stereo equipment racks, only $35.98 to $7,196. Yep. So if you look at this, there's basically spikes. I like to do spikes, minimal contact or reduced contact from point to point to try to make every device sort of as free floating as possible. So taking this idea, I ran with it and have made a DIY project for putting the subwoofers on, and I'll show it to you. Okay, so these platforms I made 2 of them because we have 2 subwoofers. So these are isolation platforms. The board in the center is sort of the free-floating board, and the sides of the base here effectively do nothing other than hide the suspension material inside. So we have a lower board which sits off the floor just on felt. There's felt pads under there. Rubber feet are also another possibility we may do in the future, but at this point felt. I wanted to keep it short, keep it sitting close to the floor if possible. And then we have this board on top, and the subwoofers that we're trying to hold are about 80-90 pounds a piece. This will easily hold my weight as a 6-foot tall man. I weigh significantly more than that, and these hold me just fine. We open them up, and our top board is free floating on 5 tennis balls. The tennis balls simply sit in cutouts that are there. There are holes drilled into the base there, and the tennis ball just sits in that hole. And then at the top there's actually a smaller hole, you can see, and it doesn't go all the way through, but it's enough to center the tennis balls on the platforms, and that effectively decouples and isolates them from the floor. Now obviously I borrowed this idea from some other folks I had seen trying to isolate electronic drums. That's what they were up to, which is great. You do what you need to do. I need to get this recentered. It's fairly easy to recenter. You just lift up each side and everything will kind of center itself. But anyway, the cool thing about this is, if you know anything about foam or rubber will deteriorate and fail after a number of years. So if this was any kind of proprietary rubber, grommets or something I had made for the project, after 10 years they'd need to be replaced. And in this one, how hard is it to go find tennis balls and change them out when they deteriorate 5 to 10 years down the road? Also, you could experiment with different types of things that are around the same size. maybe a racquetball or one of those, what's those foam pink balls, those pinky balls I think they call them, the toy pink sponge balls. But yeah, you can put basically anything in here that's the size of a tennis ball. These easily hold my weight, which is significantly more than the speaker. And we'll see how they work. Hope you enjoyed the brief video here, and maybe it'll inspire you to try to solve speaker isolation issues on your own. Thanks, have a great day.